Hello and welcome to the Cow Corner Dugout. Very dramatic match, I must say. Today was the seventh and eighth place teams on the table, and by the end of it, they swapped places. So exciting times ahead for the IPL. We're here. We're talking about the game or whatever there is to talk about. And joining me today for starters, there is Dorian and there's Trinay. What do you guys think about the game, guys?
Hello.
Oh,
Uh,
there.
well, the points table changed for once, so that's a positive win. That's a luxury we're not used to usually. Pretty boring game besides that, and to an extent, Allen and Green going hammer and tongs in the middle. Besides that, it was the usual IPL slop we've gotten used to over the last week or so.
Yeah,
Mm,
honestly, it's like after DC's power play, it just felt like it was pretty obvious who was going to win, especially like that 8 to 16th over segment. It just you knew that there was basically a KKR win written all over it. Fourth win in a row. Pretty good form
Yeah,
right now, KKR.
true. And Finn Allen, I mean, after all the trust they had in him, first 4 or 5 games he played, then he gets replaced by his New Zealand opening partner, and then he gets kicked out, and now Allen comes back in. I think he played the last
mm,
game as well, and he's made that 100 today, which he's known for. The destructive hundreds where he just takes down bowling attacks on a whole. Stark Kuldeep, Viprachi, spared no one. Pace spin, went to all corners. I think he was dropped in between Dorian. I don't know if you caught this, but I think he was dropped on 42 by I don't know who he was
I
dropped by.
I'm not fully sure because I kind
I
of
mean,
had to
at
miss
best,
it.
it would have made a difference of 4 or 5 balls. I don't think. I mean, instead of what did it finish at right now? At 14.2, it would have probably gone on to the 15.5. At best, five
Fair enough.
balls more. I don't. I mean, whoever was coming was going to finish it quickly, right? Rinku was going to come
Yeah,
in next. And,
Powell.
yeah. Um. Yeah. So I mean, another shit show. I think generally from DC. DC
Yeah,
started off promisingly. I mean, they've just been getting worse and worse. I think as the tournament has gone on. Kuldeep Yadav is a pale version of Kuldeep Yadav we've seen earlier. Akshar Patel has, I guess, as a bowler, Akshar Patel has been just about delivering. Like it was another 4 overs under 30 game for him. But Akshar Patel, the batter, and Akshar Patel, the captain, look very, very weary. Very, they look like they're aging very, very fast. So I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I'm sure Karthik has an opinion when he comes in. And think of the devil, Karthik is there.
Yep. What was the opinion on?
The opinion was it a shit show from DC or was it expected?
I mean,
I think this is like a plane that is descending, and suddenly, like Kolkata Knight Riders haven't found the button to accelerate it, take it up. They're right now just on a descent, and with all of that 8 points that they were on, right? I think they've lost 5 of their last 6 games. DC have had a very very rough ride.
Yeah.
I think they were at 6 at that point, and then they won one game in between. But yes, the games that they win, they somehow manage to win against the top side. That keeps the hope. Who have they won against? I've forgotten DC's games.
Didn't they beat
they beat
RCB
Rajasthan.
once.
yeah.
They
They
beat
beat Rajasthan
Rajasthan.
once.
They've beaten the table toppers, man. They've beaten RCB, they've beaten Rajasthan. They almost beat Punjab.
Yeah, that's one of the signs that show us that they have pedigree, right? Everybody thought that they were going to do really well at the start of the
Yeah,
season.
it's just I mean, you look at it, KL Rahul, you can't say he's out of form. Prathum Nisanka, you can't say he's out of form. Samir Rizvi has two man of the match performances up front in the tournament. Nitish Rana has got, 250s, 190.
Yeah,
Um, Akshar Patel, yes, definitely as a batter is out of form. Tristan Stubbs been doing okay. Ashutosh Sharma has been doing okay. So you feel that the batting is kind of there, right? And there is bench strength as well on that. The bowlers seem to be fine. Mitchell Starks had a couple of good games. Ngidi is always all right. Kuldeep, Akshar, one or two Indian bowlers. Occasionally it's been Mukesh, then it's been Natarajan. So they seem to have the tools. It's just that I don't know, man. I don't know with GC why they. It's a
No,
team
I
which
think
shows
I
up on
do.
Friday and scores 264, and then on Sunday they
75
score
all the time.
75. Like
So,
it's like a bipolar team, man.
No, I think I do.
I-
I think this
I'm
match was the perfect example of that bipolarity. You are seeing like 50 of the first 5 overs, and then you just immediately see a test knock in the same match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also reminiscent of their whole campaign, right? They started off with that win against LSG, win
Yeah,
against Mumbai Indians. So you're like, wow, 4 points on the go. And then they lost that game versus GT, then versus CSK. CSK, though, I never even expected that they would lose. And then they won against RCB. Hopes were high. In 3 games,
It's
they
that
lost.
one. It's that run which David Miller denied them is haunting them till now. They haven't gotten
Yeah,
over it,
that started the
despite
run
it,
for them.
despite them beating RCB after that, of a last ball or whatever last over. I mean, remember Mario Shepard did the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
20 run over to David
yeah.
Miller that game. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it
on a numerical
feels so
standpoint.
far. I think it's somewhere early in April.
Yeah.
And
On
I
a nu-
also see my other. Sorry, let me make the point which I wanted to back, which occurred in my head. It's May. Akshar and Kuldeep should be having a party right now, but they both look disinterested. They'll both look like, can we get this over and can we go to the shower? That's their body language is reflecting that. Akshar, that wicket he got, like there was no excitement. I mean, there was excitement after it was a miracle thing, right? Like
there
the
was
way
relief.
Ankush,
I think relief is the word you're looking for. The Raghuvanshi wicket.
yeah,
He seemed really relieved.
it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Do they need a change in captaincy?
I think they
Who would it go
backed
to?
Akshar Patel.
Rahul,
KL Rahul is the only person I can think of, but KL
No.
Rahul himself has not had a great captaincy reign at the IPL, even with Punjab Kings or even with Lucknow Super Giants. And with Lucknow, I think there was a combination of KL and Andy Flower that also took them. So you'll have to always imagine a captain along with a coach and see, okay, how is that combination working out? So I don't know. KL looks your Indian choice, but it also depends on which set of owners are right now running the regime there. Right? DC has these two split owners.
currently it is
I think it's
GMR.
GMR and
This year it's GMR.
JSW. Oh,
This year is GMR. Next 2 years will be JSW.
Friday. So much sarcasm for
Yeah.
a Friday night.
Look at us. 11 o'clock at night. We could have so many better things to do on a Friday. But we ended up watching.
Yeah.
I didn't
Kolkata.
actually. Okay. Full disclosure, I didn't watch one ball of the game. I just followed the score every now and then. I can't go through this anymore. I saw the highlight. I saw at the end of the first innings, I saw the key moments of the first innings.
Okay, I have a
Sorry.
numerical opinion on why Delhi didn't had a shit season to some extent. We know they're stacked in batting and in bowling, right? On bench and on paper. But if you go through their power play, both on bowling and batting, on average in the games they play, they score 48 runs, but they concede in the power play in the first six. They score 48 runs on an average, but they end up conceding 62, which is it's a huge difference, right? In the middle overs, they're really good. They score on an average. This doesn't include today's numbers. They score 87 runs while their opposition score 80. So on an average, 7 runs they gain, and in the death, they're neck and neck. They score 41
So
while they
I
concede
don't know
30.
if I okay. So I think you have to look at this as with KL Rahul and without KL Rahul. The innings they've scored in the middle overs is largely been a function of KL Rahul scoring at 200 in the middle overs. He's close to 200 strike rate, right? And he's
yeah.
had 2-3 long innings, 190 odd, 150 and 2-360s, and so it's because he goes through the gears so very well, right? So he's first and second gear in the power play, and then he's turning it up, right? Towards, I mean, actually, from what I've noticed, it's in the sixth over he starts. He plays it cool till then. And it's been Pathum Nisanka who's turning it the other way because Nisanka's, they shared today, his strike rate after the power plays is just about 100.
Yeah, Rahane level numbers, right?
Yeah, he's a Rahane level.
And I
Yeah,
think it's also slightly tough with their batting first. So there's a considerable difference in somebody batting first and somebody batting second. Now you saw the way Finn Allen and this guy Cameron Green were finishing it off. They were pretty easy. They were challenged maybe in the first 4 or 5 overs when you had those 2 wickets fall, but outside of that there was really no challenge today.
Allen was somewhat slow to begin with, but then when he picked up around the 30-35 mark, he was unstoppable from that point. But I still think their lack of power play runs and the amount they're conceding in the power play comes and bites them from the behind. Because every single
Sure,
time,
that's one visible thing in terms of where is it that they are behind, but I think there is it is a little more deeper in terms of how many wickets or what is their average or what is the number of balls per wicket that we are
yeah,
seeing. And I think if we look
I
at
have that too. I just didn't get a chance to bring it up. Again, without today's numbers, they have taken 6 wickets overall in this year's power play with their bowlers, but they have lost 18 wickets in the power play, which is again a huge difference, right? So I feel those 6 overs, they're getting the stuffing knocked out of them, both when they're batting and when they're bowling, because they don't take power play wickets and they go for runs in the power play, and at the same time, they're also losing wickets in the power play when they bat, and they're not scoring at a magnificent rate as well.
no, that's it, right? So that's what it's not just about the runs they score, but are they losing wickets or not? And I think with that,
Yeah,
it's very clear that their bowling is not able to compensate for the for the misdemeanors that their batting is potentially doing,
I think
and it's unfortunate.
But Nabi in the power play has gone for 13 and a half. Mukesh in the power play has gone for 11 and a half, and these two have bowled a lot of their power play overs. I don't have enough numbers in stock yet, and he's just played a couple of games. I wouldn't count him. But to go back to Andy B's previous comment, as I've called it before, the Andy Flower of this podcast, he is right. Right, one good opener in KL. Where would this team be without KL? Right, he's just so valuable up top for them. But Batum hasn't been scoring quick enough. 2 good finishers, one of whom they've benched. I assume you're talking about Stubbs and Miller, or are you talking about Stubbs and Ashutosh? Okay, Ashutosh counts as well. Middle over, middle order Rana counts, right? To some extent, he had a couple of good knocks. Samir
It is
Rizvi,
not middle, right? Rana is your
Me,
top
I don't
order. He
think
bats at
is
top three.
middle. That's
Bats
top.
at top. Yeah, top order.
yeah. When you see DC's middle order, what do you guys, what
I'm
can you
looking
change
at
with it? You guys have any thoughts?
I think the way DC has put their middle order, they need to decide who exactly and what do they want to basically test. You have somebody like Samir Rizvi and you have somebody like Tristan Stubbs. They just haven't got going. Samir Rizvi for the first 2 games versus MI. I remember he was taking down Bumrah, and in that Lucknow game, he came good in the first couple of games. But I think what the kid is missing is consistency. Samir needs a. If you look at KL Rahul in the IPL, KL somehow puts his head down. He's able to be consistent even at the age of 34. I think the last couple of years, KL has had 2 500-run seasons. So I think this is where their middle order is not batting long, and creating opportunities for other people to score runs around them. So not batting long, not batting, and today was abysmal, right? At one point, Ashutosh and Aksar were batting. Aksar was batting at 8 of 18 balls. Ashutosh 5 of 16 balls. So it very clearly means that they don't have the necessary ability to strike against spin, against high quality spin. You had someone like a Sunil Narine operating at 4 runs and over, and Anukul Roy
Chakravarti
picked
as
up a
well.
couple of wickets. Chakravarti, like, okay, went at 7 and
4 of
over.
28.
They-
7 and over is damn good.
So I think when you have high quality spin coming in, these guys did not have options. A lot of them who are so-called finishers hit against pace. But when you're against high quality spin, it creates a lot of indecision in your swinging arc. So I think the kind of batting they have built uh, can be found in certain circumstances. Look at RCB last night. Those guys strike at the same strike rate versus spin versus pace. Rajat Patidar, 189, 193. Romario Shepherd, Tim David, or Krunal Pandya. So you have this whole army of people who will keep coming at you. Of course, yesterday we did see when this guy was bowling googlies. I forget this that Delhi guy's name who played for
Digvesh.
now, right? The Digvesh Rathi. So when he bowled all those googlies, they weren't able to. Romario wasn't able to pick him at all. And when you shorten the length, it just cut the pace off for these guys to hit. So while there are these minor inefficiencies, but on flat wickets, I think, or even on slower wickets, I think RCB as a team has the goods. There will be the odd day they fail, like they failed against DC in Bangalore. So I think DC fundamentally their middle order is basically a lot of players who are not in form. Secondly, I don't think they are realizing they still haven't in their season who their number four, number five, and number six are. What is Akshar Patel doing at number six? Earlier, he was batting a little higher up the order, and there is a lot of confusion. You suddenly bring in Karun Nair, and you know that you have a couple of good openers, Abhishek Porel and Prithvi Shaw sitting on the bench. So, what is your experiment? So as much as Patum Nisanka scores well in the power play, who's going to herald or manage your middle over space? This is a very very abject middle order, and I think Delhi will go back. They'll realize that this is something they have quite a few gaping holes to fill, and it's not just that. Right? It's also with bowling. Kuldeep Yadav was his economy rate was 10.3. Today went at about 14 and over, and Vipraj Nigam went at 17 and over. So clearly in due, you don't have the kind of bowling that's required. A safe bank, you have Akshar Patel, but outside of that, what? None of their bowlers came to the party today. So I think Delhi are they basically have they have a broken house right now. You can't basically plug a deluge of water through your finger, and that's what Delhi are trying.
Delhi, could you say that they have a problem of plenty because they've tried quite a few batsmen. They've tried Karun Nair, Rizvi's been given a run, Patum, Sahil Parak was given the game. I'm not talking about the bowling here. Their bowling seems as bad as it has been. They've been they have a set plan there to some extent. But do you think they're shuffling their batting way too much or trying to experiment with it way too much? Because as we've seen before, as we've also said before, the most successful teams, whether it's the Mumbai from 19 to 20, CSK 2018, they usually at max they play 12 to 14 players, right? They don't play more than that. But these
It also
guys,
comes with the confidence that, like for example, this is a new unit, and when you have a unit that's going to be there for 2 years or 1 year, you are judged by how quickly you move or decide on things. If, for example, it also comes with support from the owners. And Nirav, you've been in an IPL setup, so you'll probably know this. But if let's say there are 5 games and nothing is moving, a team which is fairly new will try to look for action because they don't have a cricketing culture to say, okay, I don't know if the coach is backing, we will go ahead. Yeah, there are the odd occasions like 2025 where CSK look like sitting ducks there. But outside of that, CSK has now become a very reactive team. They were earlier a very proactive team. They were not a reactive team at all. So I think in this kind of a scenario, you end up being reactive because you don't have solid options. Like for example, Punjab, there is a great communication between the coach, between the captain, and all of the players. For Shashank Singh to come and say we are looking at a top two spot, it showed the power of visioning. It showed me how they were all thinking at the same level. Here, I don't think that's the case.
yeah, fair to say.
I mean, everybody starts off by saying they're looking at a top two spot because, I don't know, man.
Like that's the basic thing. You don't want to say, "Oh, I think we will just fall out of the playoff." That just means like we don't have
No, a
ambition.
lot of people are. If you ask cricketers, even today, somebody asked Cameron Green, "Hey, is there a chance that you guys will get to the playoffs?" He said, "Boss, one game at a time. We're not thinking much ahead." But to somebody to come and say top two spot, and maintain that preseason, I just thought, wow, that is some level of, alignment and belief that the whole team has.
The one game at a time line is kind of the standard PR media
Yeah,
line, right? Yeah, the we're looking at a top two spot could be. I see it as someone who has incredible confidence in his setup, his coaching staff, his team, and he has that confidence to come and say, "Boss, we're gonna finish top two." Because if that came from someone within Lucknow, if Nicholas Puran came and said, "We're gonna finish top two," at the end of the season, they're probably gonna finish ninth now. It would look extremely stupid, right? So 9 out of 10 players won't be saying that unless they actually believed it.
Correct. I'm saying that's why the belief systems are so strong because the same Punjab team, you wouldn't take them seriously pre-ponting, right? They will always
Yeah.
perform. They will, knock down a couple of big teams or, smaller. Like, for example, Punjab used to regularly beat CSK in that 22-23 cycle and even 24. Though I don't recall CSK very easily beating Punjab. That was the first time I discovered Jitesh Sharma playing. Jitesh Sharma was a Punjab player, right? Punjab
Yep,
player.
he
yeah.
was.
2020. I think
22.
yeah, I think our last victory
Yeah.
came in 24 at Dharamshala. I remember
Oh
it
yeah, I
was
went for that game. I went for that game, Punjab game at
yeah.
Dharamshala, and after that, I spoke to the Punjab team, a couple of these players, and they said that they thought CSK had a very pedestrian first-class attack, and it was their
Mhm.
mistake that they actually lost. I felt bad.
Yeah, fun,
Yeah,
yeah. Fun,
என்னடா இப்படி சொல்லிட்டான்? So
fun
that was what I
fact.
was thinking.
Fun
This
fact.
was
That's the
actually
lowest score that's been defended at Dharamshala. That 167 that CSK scored. That's the lowest score ever defended at Dharamshala. So
To be
and it was
fair,
also a day game. It was a day game, so sometimes the track also works differently. And 2 days later, I went for the RCB Punjab game. It was a high-scoring game. So I think sometimes the tracks are different.
no,
And
to be fair,
anyway,
what was Riley Russo doing opening for an IPL side back then?
no, maybe
He
he was
was
doing. He played well in the Riley Rusu bats very similar to Nitish Rana. He either scores an 80 or he scores a duck. There's no in between. If you look at Riley Russo's World Cup in 2022 or 2022 was the Australia World Cup, right? I think he scored 100 versus some team at Sydney, Sri Lanka or something like that. So that's Riley Russo's batting. I remember watching him in 23. I remember, I think, yeah, Riley Russo versus Delhi Capitals, or he used to play for Punjab versus
He
Delhi
played for he
Capitals.
played for Delhi Cap. He played for Delhi Capitals also, I think.
Also, okay. He was okay. He was one of those foreign guys who would play a couple of seasons, then vanish away. So it happens, right? Sometimes you end up taking these options.
uh, anyway. Getting back to today's game, Cameron Green. We
Drama.
were roasting.
Drama.
We
Yeah,
were
nothing
roasting him.
happened. I mean, he played a test match knock also, right? Didn't he today?
Huh?
Didn't he play a test
Yeah,
matchish kind of knock? I mean,
He did.
he did what
yeah,
Karthik
33
Sharma did
of
the other day. No?
27.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's 33 of 27.
now finding his way into form. I know he has got a good knock earlier in the competition, but sometimes when you think you can just play second fiddle and Finn Allen is striking it, and that's great that Finn Allen was able to actually go mathematically plan his knock to score 100 in a total of 147. I think he was just playing second fiddle, not doing anything stupid, have KKR mess around with their net run rate. But what is the points table right now looking like? Does anybody have the points table?
Before that, do you want to take Arthav's comment?
Sure.
Yeah,
DC has been the
I
same
think-
story since 22. I actually think DC has been the same story since it was Delhi Daredevils in 2008. There has been a lot of times where, I mean, I'll generalize and I'll also point out the exceptions. I think the exception was 19, 20, and 21, that cycle, where it was Ponting and Shreyas as a captain, and then in 21, I think it was Pant as captain. Was it 21 Pant as captain? 22 Pant was captain. I can't remember.
21.
21 Pant was captain. So that was one cycle where I felt that they were an elite level team as a full team, right? All the way down to their 11 players. Otherwise, they've always been a top two team. Like it's a top two as in player number openers, and that's it,
that way.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
from
bol
the top, it's like the years there where Virender Sehwag did well, Gautam Gambhir did well, they went into the playoffs, right? It was literally based on like one or two performances at the top, right? I mean, one or two guys at the top having a good season in general. There was this one year where, what is it, South African all-rounder, Chris Morris, he pretty much took them to the playoffs, single-handedly, batting and bowling. Like he was coming in and slamming it. I think it was the mid 2010s, maybe 2015 or 16 or somewhere around that. One year he had a fantastic year, which is why next year he got picked up for 12 crores or 16 crores or whatever it was.
Yeah, by
Right?
Rajasthan.
That,
I remember
by
that
whoever picked him up. And RCB also picked him up for a lot of money based on that one season he had with DC. Where,
yeah,
where believe it or not, and it was a bizarre because that year, I can't remember which year it was. Maybe it was 15 or 16. And it was so bizarre because I was in Delhi throughout that IPL, more or less. I was based out of Delhi. My mom was there and she was unwell. And even though I was working for Mumbai Indians at that time, so it would have been 16 or 17 maybe. Delhi, I went to see a few games also. Chris Morris was it was like that, the Lance Klusner level form, right? Where everything coming out of his bat is going to the boundary. and yet DC kept deciding that he will come at 8 or 9. Like they kept pushing him further and further down the order, like South Africa did with Lance
So like
Corby.
South Africa.
Yeah, it was exactly like the case of, he's good enough, he's in form, push him up the order. No, we will bring him in later and later and make it. He I think once he hit a 50 of 19 balls to win a game in the last 4 overs, right? Where it was a drawn match, and I can't remember now which opposition it was, but it was one of those things where I would discuss with Gaurav and we would tear our head out. Why, who's doing these kind of things? But I think DC is, yeah, maybe it was this innings, this one. Arthur was talking about. And now these are two. I can't barely remember what happened last week in IPL. I can't now remember what happened in
I mean, this was
league
10
match in
years ago, so
2016.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, to
Question.
broadly say, this is a DC thing. I mean, DC, it is a Daredevil thing that they lost the word Daredevil, but the devil is carried on into their. Um,
But the
yeah,
name
but
change actually made
yeah,
them look like a good side, right, for the first couple of years. Because I
because
saw the
it
lot
seemed
of
like, because JSW came in profession, it looked like a professional outfit. For once they had decent jerseys. They looked smart on the field for once, because they were probably the weakest. I mean, apart from Sunrisers, they were the weakest jersey team all till 2018. I think the first 10 years, right? They had ugly jerseys.
But
But
since 19, they've had a crack. They've always had a really good side, right? I'd argue that 19 to 21, they had a really good squad. Great squad, I should say. And then to 21 as
they,
well, they
they
made
messed
the
it up by
playoffs.
by by drop by letting
Shreyas go.
Shreyas Iyer, no, not by getting Pant as to captain ahead of a year. Because one
yeah,
year, one year Pant was a captain, because Iyer was injured. Next year when Iyer came back, Pant was still the captain, and which I think was the reason why then Shreyas Iyer went to KKR. There also he was injured one season, 22 I think, and then 23-24 he came and won it in 24.
Yeah, and they still managed to construct, competitive sides from 22 onwards, even though they never, I'd argue, they never
But it
reached
was
90.
down to the year Jake Fraser McGregor scored a lot of runs. They played the playoffs. The year he didn't, or their openers didn't fire, they didn't make it. It was down. It's always been a case of their top two players. They're better number one in openers.
Fair enough.
Except for 19 to 20. I mean, I'm generalizing, but that's been my feeling over time.
Yeah,
That
maybe we could run some
they
numbers on that later on.
we could, but it's, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there were other reasons, but the consistency of an opening batter doing well allowed them to go through. And this year, I mean, if it was only on the back of KL Rahul, there's that much he can do, right?
Yeah, and they've also messed up. They've also gotten their combinations wrong, right? Because how
I
many
mean, they
times will you
started off
juggle with
okay,
that
right?
middle?
They started off okay, no? That's the point. That they started off okay. Samir Rizvi was
yeah,
scoring runs. Nitish
you're
Kumar was
right.
scoring
Two
runs.
wins in 2 games, right?
Karun Nair was, in and out.
Yeah, but Rana was
Ashutosh
dropped
Rana,
after a game and then brought back in as a specialist bowler who batted at number 7.
Rana was brought in dropped after 4 games. And then
Yeah,
they tried Samir Rizvi at number 3. Then they tried Karun Nair at number 3. So they started, I don't know, man. These things happen. I don't know.
no, but how
I think
many
sometimes if
changes like
you're
that?
weaker, no,
Yeah,
if
go
you're
on.
fundamentally a weaker side, in terms of being scared of management decisions and wanting to get it right, you will tend to react. I think Delhi has been very reactive, the captain as well as the coaching staff. Probably that shows up in the performance of people because nobody is playing for position. As much as we criticize Romario, Shepherd, and RCB, I like the way RCB is now looking like the CSK of the old, where they are giving people clarity with respect to the positions. They didn't change it just because Devdutt Padikkal was available. He plays only at 3. So I think that way, kudos to RCB for giving people the confidence on how they want to see build that team. So Delhi has been abysmal, though as a team they were very close to certain victories, and this whole points table could have been far better. But here they are at the end of 11 games, 4 victories from that. So Delhi, Mumbai, and Lucknow Super Giants are technically out of the IPL playoffs race. Kolkata Knight Riders, they're on 9 points. The max they can get to is 17. The max Chennai can get to is 18. We never saw this coming, did we? Chennai and Kolkata 6 and 7 and still having a chance.
Yeah, we didn't. Kolkata has been has been improving. They're getting there. So again, they finally, balanced out their combination. I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that Varun Chakravarti has started to show good analysis, right? Because there were a couple of games he looked haywire, then he was dropped or whatever, injured, whatever it was, back
Back
spasm.
spasm, yeah.
That's
But
puzzle.
since he came back, right, Anukul Roy is delivering. Also, it is the second half of the tournaments. The spinners will start to do well,
They're
right?
doing what Kuldeep should be doing. Kuldeep and Nigam should be doing. Making use of
Yeah.
the conditions, and their batsmen are looking somewhat competent. Not Rahane or Raghuvanshi. Allen's made runs today. Green has been knocking it around. Again, above par totals, and their bowlers just spin webs. Again, against SRH as well last time. Narayan and Chakravarti just spun them a web, right? I mean, I think Head was the only one who made any runs. Head and Ishan, I want to say. But besides that, nobody else really made any scores of note. And that is because of the two spinners, right? Those 8 overs are just a lock, and they weren't able to score runs. Even if the Pacers did go for runs, they were taking wickets as well. Restrict them to a par or a subpar total, and then the batsmen are good enough to chase it down. Yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah, they were like what 100 of 9, right? At one point, SRH, and then the spinners
Yeah,
came in and then just completely changed the game, and they were stuck at what like 160s, like I think like 165 was target, I think,
160.
and yeah, so that was extremely like impressive because you're talking about a team that could have easily gone about 200, like about 200, maybe even to 20, and then the spinners did so well that they came down to what ended up ultimately being a subpar score, and KKR kind of struggled. They kind of hobbled over the line at the end, but at the end of
But
the
they
day,
were good enough to chase it down, right? At the end.
yeah,
The bottom line is they chased it down, and that was because of the two spinners choking out.
yeah.
On KKR as a whole, what do you think has improved from their first couple of games where they were absolutely shit, or the first half of the season, I should say, where they were absolutely shit, and what are they doing differently now that makes them such a better side that helped them beat DC, a team that's been really good on paper, or should be really good according to paper.
I think bowling,
Right?
right? Even the game versus CSK, I loved the way somebody like Karthik Tyagi came around the wicket. He was able to, restrict, the team that was bowling. So restrict CSK. So I think the emergence of somebody like Karthik Tyagi, even though Vaibhav Arora sometimes may not pick wickets, I think their bowling has been holding good. And once you get somebody like Nareen and Varun Chakravarti delivering 20-25 dot balls in a 8 over spell,
And
makes for a
Ankul
huge
taking the
difference.
new ball and
You're right,
succeeding,
right.
right?
Yeah.
He took the new ball against SRH as well, I think, bowled the first over to two left-handers, correct?
Yeah. No, but
He's
there
been
is a
so
matchup there. There's a positive matchup there with those
well,
two.
whatever there is. I
Sure.
mean, it's a slow left-arm spinner not getting much turn, and yeah, I mean, he's doing the job, right? So I think it's a combination of these three spinners who between them are definitely delivering 10 overs of less than, I mean, I would like to say less than 7 runs an over, but definitely less than 8 runs an over. So you have 10 runs, and so if Karthik Tyagi has a good game, then you're looking at very few weak overs, right? And I think the other thing which has happened is Ajinkya Rahane is not batting too much. He's getting
Right.
out in
He's getting
T20s,
out.
which is allowing the middle order, and I'll specifically mention, I mean, today also he got Finn Allen. I mean, today 140, well, let's not count that. But in earlier situations, they've had opportunities to allow Cameron Green to come in early and bat deep. They have had opportunities for Rinku Singh to come in, get settled, then start hitting. Right. So I think these are things which have been happening, which were not happening earlier. Because earlier between the top four, which didn't include Cameron Green at that time, or if it did, then it was basically Ankur Raghuvanshi and what's his name, Ajinkya Rahane, taking the game past 12 to 12 overs and not even having 7 runs and over on board.
Yeah,
Right.
they
So
did. They
that was
did that against CSK as well. Sorry to interrupt, but Green was at 4, and but those two were just knocking the ball around for ages, and then one of them got out, and then there was nothing much Robman or Green or anyone could do from that point because the required run rate went too high.
yeah.
So the fact that those two
Also,
have been getting it, yeah, go on.
Also, I think what KKR has been lucky with, the where they are in the position of the toss, right? They've been chasing 3 of the 4 games, and they've executed very well in bowling. So it allows
Yeah.
their batting to face the stronger component, and all these games are 150, 160 games. wherever they've played. The only 150 game where they batted first was because Lucknow bottled that particular game. But I think KKR have been lucky with the quality of oppositions that they have so far played, and just being very brutally honest with respect to what has changed in the last four games for
Correct,
them.
correct. So they've effectively they've I mean the super over game aside, they have chased 160 and below
Right.
for the three of their
Yeah.
four wins. The fourth win came in that super over, which was also a 150 160 game.
Yeah.
155. It was tied at
They
155.
they can
And
chase
now they're
down.
having.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go on.
So
I
is
think
if a
now
team
their
gets
games.
200, let's see what happens.
Exactly. So they'll be facing some of the better teams like RCB, GT. Those are two tough games that they have. Their other two games are MI and DC, who are below them on the points table. So yeah, I think KKR could still finish this whole thing by with about 13 points is probably what I think. 17, I don't think they're getting there, but 13 would still be like a decent effort. 6 victories out of 14 games.
They have a
Um,
few days off. They have the opportunity to evaluate the Raipur pitch because there's a game on Sunday, the MI game. Before that, before they play RCB at Raipur, and then the last three home are home games. So I'm saying don't rule them out, man. They could make a
No,
late
no,
surge.
no, they could. I'm
They
just
have
saying
three,
that
they have three home games
they need
against
to set.
Gujarat Titans, MI, TC. Those could be 160 run games also. You never know.
Kolkata
and
attracts his
it's
160 energy, man. Because yeah, even in Hyderabad, where we're talking about higher scores done for other games, for Kolkata's game, somehow a 160 kind of surface comes, and I think 160 kind of surface, their 1990s old economy way of working somehow adds in. But once this on a flatter wicket, like they will know once they play RCB on the 13th of May, and that is where I think they'll be put under some level of pressure. But it's remarkable how they were just at 1 point at the end of the sixth game. If winning four games, Zara, LSG, Sunrisers, and DC has helped them suddenly realize, hey, there could be light at the end of the tunnel. With both the cases, right? Chennai and Kolkata have done well to be 6 and 7. So yeah, we are having the top five teams competing. 6 and 7 just waiting to see who they can knock out. 8, 9, 10 having a separate try series. Oh, that's it. We're done with the KKR game that we saw today. Tomorrow's game, we just wanted to talk about that. And tomorrow we just have a single game. Gujarat take on Rajasthan Royals. They play in Jaipur, which is I think the flattest of all surfaces. What do you expect?
Dramatic table shifting. 4 and 5 clash, and then whichever wins becomes four, and the other one becomes five.
Yet another day of
No, actually,
Changes.
whoever. Okay, if Rajasthan wins, can they go top of the table?
no,
Potentially, they could.
tomorrow is one of the rare moments
Potentially,
of
they could, right?
importance
If
we can play.
Rajasthan Royals is at 0.5, Sunrisers is at 0.7. So a
Yeah, they
big
can
win
go,
for RR could force them to the top of the table.
and a win for
Yeah.
GT could mean they
GT
break
could
into the
mean
top.
top three, top four. They'll still
No,
probably
no, no, top four. They're not going to beat
they'll,
RCB's net 100. No way.
they'll move ahead of.
RR,
They'll
yeah.
move ahead.
they
No,
have
but
the,
at
they
14
have the
points.
same.
No, 1 second. If they win the game, they are at 14 points. They move
Oh shit, yeah, they're
second.
at 14.
Yeah,
They go
so
second
then
then.
if you win by an extremely huge
Whoever
margin,
wins becomes second. Basically, whoever
Yeah,
wins
whoever
definitely goes
becomes
into the
first
top
slash
two,
second. Yeah.
yeah,
and the other
So a
team will.
rare important game tomorrow.
Yeah. So one team is, I think both have the same points, but one is on an upswing, the other is has lost a few games,
Yeah.
and
The other's
yeah,
been
it'll be
losing every
interesting.
alternate game. So
yeah, it's a spotty form.
it would be
One
it
has
would be,
one has the best power play batsman and the other has the best power play bowling. So that's going to be one hell of a fight tomorrow. Rabada
Yeah,
Siraj versus Jaivanshi.
Jaivanshi or
Jaiswal
Suryaval.
is good.
What are we calling it?
Devanshi is the
Jaiswal and
mixture
Suryavanshi.
of.
Jaivanshi is cooler or Suryaval is cooler?
Suryawal. We'll go with that.
Sounds like a
Is it?
weapon. Probably is a weapon.
It is a weapon. Oh my god.
Suryaval is a
Like
weapon.
It sounds like a weapon, at least like some sort of like knife, I guess.
Yeah, so a
But
260 strike rate weapon.
Yeah,
The last time
but
these two teams played, right? That was the last I saw of this guy Tushar Deshpande. Have you seen this guy bowl recently? No, right?
I don't think
No.
Because
so.
RR, I'm just thinking what happened when RR played GT. I think these guys had a very low total to GT had
No, it
like
was
50.
a no, it was a
No,
200
correct.
plus
No,
game. Yeah, it
no,
was
no, I'm
at
saying low
Ahmedabad.
total in
No,
the sense last 2 overs. 2 overs, 15 to win, 3 wickets in hand. GT failed to chase that. Like
chase it. Yeah,
Jofra Archer bowled the 90,
they
Tushar,
they last
Tushar
three
bowled
overs.
the 20.
Yeah, they were on track for they needed, I think, under 30 in the last 3 overs, and they choked.
No, it
On
was a
Deshpande.
210 game, 210 that RR made. And at that point, their top three was performing so well. RR did that well. And I think it's even there, Gujarat, when they batted, Rashid and Rabada, I think, pulled them out of what was otherwise like
Yes.
a precarious hole. They came close and then they lost from there.
Yeah, the middle order collapsed, right? The top three made some runs, but then no one in the middle stood up, and then that was
Yeah.
the match where we argued that Rabada and Rashid should be batting higher up. Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
was that game.
tomorrow's game that's playing at Jaipur, let's pick predictions on who's going to win. We're, I think, going to close early today. We've got 46 people on the stream.
Man, we've been talking for 41 minutes on a completely stupid game.
Dead. Yeah.
Surely we have something better to do. Okay, I'm going with the team batting second. Safe.
Team batting
And they're
second.
playing.
Yo, Torian.
What?
Though I think in general, I think GT has the edge over RR based on the kind of teams they are. I mean, also we have to remember last time around, that was the game Kumar Kushagra opened, right?
Yeah.
Right.
12 of 17, I
So,
think. if
so
I'm
there
not
was
wrong.
no
Saisu.
Shubman Gill.
Sai-
Sai
I think
played,
yeah.
Rashid Khan captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So going by the law of averages, Rajasthan Royals have lost the last game and they are on an alternate streak. I'm going to go with Rajasthan Royals.
Can I say whoever wins the power play wins the match?
Sounding,
Or is that
sounding
too
very
vague?
power
That
plays.
depends on whose power play it is.
They are two power
no,
plays.
no, the power play where RR is batting. Whoever wins that wins the match. Or is that too vague?
It is too vague, but I'm going for an anti-pattern for Gujarat and a pattern for Rajasthan Royals. So Rajasthan Royals beats Gujarat Titans is my verdict.
I'll go with GT then. I think GT is going to win tomorrow. Neerav's children, as I like to call them.
So if GT loses,
I don't
if GT
frankly
loses, I think it's better for me if GT loses because Chennai Super Kings, if they win,
Oh, God.
then net run rate
Oh,
will put
God.
them ahead.
Chennai Super Kings can't squeeze in on net run rate. They have to win games.
With
They have
if
to win all four
Gaikwad is
games.
rotating strike, if we have Gaikwad and Sharma rotating strike,
Yes,
again, we are not
See, I
Still
am
net run
happy
rate.
if I am happy if we do 2024, which is like fifth out of 10 teams. That is all my expectation is, and I want to see CSK in the fifth position for now, one step at a time.
I
I'm-
mean, but 2024 was a situation where we could have made playoffs and then we choked. This is
24
not a
we choked. We choked. I think
choked, that is
three
a
of
joke.
our last four
We were a-
games.
We were a good team that choked. Here we I don't know. I would trade Karthik Sharma for Rahul Tavatia and Shubman Gill. Is all I'm saying.
We'll have to
Nee,
pay a
that's
lot
Not
of
the
money.
kind of.
Shubman
That's
Gill
not
is
the
at-
kind of thought you should. That's not the kind of
Shubman Gill
thought
is
you
at
should be having
18
on a Friday
crores.
night.
Karthik Sharma's at 14.5 crores.
Shubman's at probably at 18 plus, right? And Tewatia must be
Yeah,
at
that's
6
why
or
he should be an 18 plus.
So you
Okay,
can't
I
trade
would
them.
value Tewatia at -4. So Shubman is 18. Karthik is 14.5. So technically they have to pay us half a crore.
You have to just trade Karthik for Sarfaraz. You don't have to look
What?
that much further.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't have to look that far.
shouldn't
You don't even. You won't even have to pay for a flight ticket. No extra expense.
If I had
He already
14
has a room,
crores,
hotel room also.
I think that's the best thing we've said all day.
Yeah, I think I don't know, man. That footage shouldn't be coming out. Jofra Archer going
Which
out.
footage?
Jaipur. He went out
Yeah.
with a girl in Jaipur. That
Is it an unknown person or somebody like his wife, girlfriend, whatever?
I don't know who his girlfriend
No,
is.
I'm
but
not. I'm not fully sure.
I mean, if it
Jofra
was
with
his
another
wife,
girl His wife is
At
it?
a,
Okay.
if I mean whoever it was, if it why couldn't he have just taken her to his hotel? Yeah? Like all
Yeah,
other players do.
Maybe me
like
or
all
maybe some
like
like
all other players do. Okay, there's a separate story here.
Nirav Ghosh tell-all interview.
yeah, it's like spill the beans. I mean, you're also speaking with someone who has probably seen some stuff in the DC locker rooms which were not recorded, so which are like recorded, and so
You
Have you
guys are
accidentally
18.
left? Have you
Uh,
accidentally left the cameras on and picked up something you haven't? You don't have to tell us what it was. You could just tell us if you have.
well, not really. No,
Ah.
I will choose not to
Yeah,
yeah.
engage with Gen Z.
Oh,
exactly. And I think Gen Z guys,
According
if
to
you need to,
Arthav, it
if
was
you
a
need,
restaurant. If it was a restaurant, dude, what's the big deal? No? He-
I
Like
think
he's
it's
going
just
out to a
also
restaurant, which is
just
why I'm
like
saying it's bizarre that he would go to another hotel.
No,
actually
no. I
that
think
hotel from
it's
the footage looked like Hotel Decent
what is that?
that comes in Jumpy Met. That's how it looked on the footage. Footage was bad.
Maybe
Maybe it was.
do
it was
you
just
know
an
that
angle on a reception. It could be one of those, military hotel type places, no, where it's like it's not a
Ah,
fancy hotel. That's what I mean.
right, right,
It
right.
looked a fancy restaurant, not a fine dining place. Must have been like some place in Jaipur, random street
it's
food kind
like
of.
hidden gems,
Yeah.
quote unquote, like those that the influencers promote, and Jafraj is probably like,
Yeah,
hey,
if I mean, if in Bangalore you were to go to a Rameshwaram cafe or something, it looked like the same thing, no?
Hey, Rameshwaram, no, proper
Or
man.
whatever.
Only place in Bangalore where you get good sambar.
Nothing. I'm
I
saying
thought
that
that's the key place.
It is
it's
a key
both.
place.
Rameshwaram, according to me, is highly overrated, but yeah, people seem to like
It's
it.
overrated, but for a Tamil guy looking for good sambar, Rameshwaram Cafe sambar is good.
It's good.
But it is overrated and expensive too. But
Is it?
yes,
Is
it
it
is
worth the
expensive.
I
Rameshwaram.
didn't
cholesterol?
care.
Is it
I
worth the
didn't.
extra cholesterol from the ghee for the
I don't think
sambar?
you need 18-year-olds need to worry about cholesterol.
Oh no, we do, man. We do.
We do.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
Yeah.
said, we're 47 minutes into our
Wait, one
conversation.
second
We're
before
almost.
you finish. I think the reason why Jofra was the one caught on that was because in the Ashes there was a huge media frenzy about the English guys going out. You had these England fans trying to capture these guys on their cell phones and post it up. Sell that footage to
that's
news
just
media
English.
channels.
I feel like that's English sports culture in general. It wouldn't have
Yeah,
mattered with
Right,
cricket or football.
I
paparazzi.
feel I feel this happened because Archer is English. You know, I feel it blew up because he's English to some extent.
Has it blown up? I thought it's already dead. Didn't it happen 3 days back?
I saw
Yeah,
one
these
tweet and
these
then that's
these
it.
controversies just become because the social media to repost them. This whole
Could be.
whatever. I mean, there hasn't been that. There've been three more things today. Like Shubman Gill is being dropped from ODI captaincy. Hasn't that
What?
made
And
a
then
noise today?
Surya Kumar. There's also the reports that Sky will get dropped for Shreyas Iyer. So
Yeah, because of wrist
No,
injury, right? He's been having a wrist injury which he didn't disclose for the last 1 year. That completely impedes his movement. That was one. Third was, I think, a player accused of, his girlfriend basically having conversations with people outside and leaking team secrets. So looks
and
like
there was a honey
a lot
trap
of.
thing also. There was another honey
Oh,
trap thing.
Honey trap?
okay.
Yeah, that
What is that?
somebody are they the same? Are they the same incident?
I
It's
I
not.
I don't know about that
There's a girl
separately.
who's apparently a honey trap thing. When the player found out, he escalated it and reported it to BCCI. So, but there might be some whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's
Player
been
needs.
vaping incidents. Matlab,
Yeah,
Yeah.
multiple.
last Sunday, Riyan Barak got vaping. It was last Sunday. It's
yeah,
over.
and then
History.
before
It's past
that,
tense.
before
Today,
that,
that
Vaping
this
and
whole
dropping.
yeah, I
Vaping
mean,
and
like what
dropping suddenly seem to happen. It's like a virus.
is
People, yeah, in a sense, I think people are vaping in IPLs. It's just that the cameraman started to capture it. And fourth one, Arshdeep Singh has been asked to shut his YouTube channel because it was his footage that basically got Chahal vaping. So they've asked him to basically shut up.
Wait,
So
and
what?
what?
not vlog. Basically,
not
player vlogs are everybody's being told record whatever the hell you want, use it after the IPL.
Oh, okay. I mean,
So I think a lot of things,
That's fair.
stupid things, a lot of these non-field related things have been going on for the last week. The media cycle, the social media cycle for each is as long as the reel is, which is 48 hours, and then it's finished.
Yeah.
That's it. We've also been uploading a few reels and reels on Instagram, on Cow Corner Dugout, and also on YouTube. So if you want to see some of our past conversations, short conversations, do subscribe to Instagram as well as Cow Corner Dugout. And we're right now also on Spotify. So search for us on Spotify, Cow Corner Dugout. If you're on a drive, you'll be able to listen in to us on Spotify. Every night, every episode is going to go there. So you'll have the long bits of all the conversation on audio. But yes, that said, we're almost done for the night. Nothing much more to speak. We're trying to make use of whatever is left on Friday night. We're going to be back tomorrow, so maybe 10:30 or 10:45, depending on how interesting the game is. Today we wanted to do 10:30, but then we said 10:45, and then the game got over very quickly. Finn Allen spoiled it for us. But yes, whatever it is, you'll get notified. To get notified if it's 10:30 or 10:45, you need to be subscribed to the Cow Corner Dugout.
And
that's
click
it.
the bell
quick
icon.
quiz,
And ring
sorry,
the
before we finish,
notification bell.
quiz question for the day. How
okay.
many hundreds have been scored in winning causes in this year's IPL, and name them?
3, I think.
Is that no wait? That's what the audience said.
Oh
No,
no.
you guys. Okay, we'll ask the audience, and then if the audience can't, you guys can give it a shot.
3, I think 2 Sanju and then today.
That's it.
In the meantime, what did you mean by
Okay.
honey trap?
Oh man, 18-year-olds don't know this. I'm surprised.
Honey trap is like something like you just like set something up so that
Like Shrikant technically was a honey trap. They
Yeah.
allow a woman to go befriend a cricketer. And the cricketer basically, once a woman takes her clothes off, the cricketer loses his mind because blood flow either goes to the brain or down. And that's it. And whatever happens,
He loses his head basically. That's
he loses his head and gets head. So,
Oh,
oh,
and then he leaks stuff.
Yeah, it's like he starts
Uh,
trusting the woman too much, and then was just like
and
you know
then
what,
and then the leaking begins.
yeah. Leaking in every sense. Yeah.
Dorian, you seem to know an awful lot about this. Has this happened to you before?
No, I just studied a lot about this in 12th.
Studied. This
Study.
is part
Legal
of
studies.
academics. Honey traps is part of academics now. Wow, man. What
No,
is this
it's
country
just that
coming
our teacher was a former lawyer, and so she decided, you know what,
Oh.
let's teach you what
The
a
way he
honey
said
trap.
that, right? Our teacher was a former honey trap specialist.
That's fine.
Wow, I can't believe that actually speaking on define a honey trap. How that on a cricket podcast.
This is after hours. This is Cow Corner Dugout after hours.
This should ideally be behind the scenes. Okay, quiz answers.
No, it shouldn't be behind the scenes, man. This is base level for Bangalore. Maybe this is the level is too much for Chennai people. What are you guys? What are you guys on? Nerdy 18-year-olds. I expected
Hard
better
to
from this
believe it's the
generation.
cricket podcast.
Yeah,
Okay, so coming back to the quiz question.
Fine.
I'm gonna go.
500s in winning causes. As far as I know, 6 in losing causes. Maybe even 7. I lost track. So
Oh,
5 in
again.
winning causes.
Sanju twice. Abhishek
Sanju
once.
twice. Abhishek once.
Finn Allen
And
today.
One happened in Ahmedabad. The missing one.
Shubhas. No, he doesn't have 100. Butler.
Sai Sudarshan.
None of those GT.
Because Isolation
Oh,
lost
shit.
that.
It was a losing
RCB.
cause. Sai Sudarshan was in a losing cause. In Chennai.
No one else in GT has the pedigree to make 100.
Steve, I got it before you guys.
Tilak.
Was it?
Oh, that was the game.
Oh,
in
shit.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, MI have just been so bad that I just thought Tilak just lost. Tilak's century was a losing cause. Like,
Sorry, yesterday's one would also count, right?
Who played yesterday?
Yesterday's.
Oh, no, Connolly was in a losing. Connolly lost.
was a
Connolly's-
losing cause.
Marsh. Yeah, Marsh 7.
Yeah, so that's 6.
Yeah, so that's 6. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, on that note, we've hit 50. So half century for the
And that's
day.
it.
But yeah, that's it for the day. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night, 10:30 or 10:45. We'll be there. To know more, subscribe to the Cow Corner Dugout and catch you there.
Bye bye.